Absolutely. And I experienced that at my school when Arthur came in and worked with our student leaders. And over a period of time, we saw a huge decrease in the number of vehicles and an increase in the number of families walking to school.
Absolutely, they could do it, and again, we had a group of students who were able to do that up at our school with the assistance of Arthur. I would agree with Brenda that it is absolutely possible. I wouldn't necessarily say it was easy, because I think it does require, you know, some training and some assistance, because our students are, you know, they're grade 4s and 5s, which I think is on the range of being able to certainly do something like this independently or without support.
You came with so much expertise and experience in what you did with kids and how you did it, even the forms and the process. For a school, an administrator or a teacher in a school, to reinvent that is so much work. So the process that you have in place at our school really, really worked. And we didn't have to think it. You came in
and not only that, we might not. You know, we might not have thought of the things that were
I
brought
learned so
to
much.
the table.
I've got to say, I learned so much that I use now.
I just would prefer that you lived at the school. That would work well for us, but it just doesn't work so well for you. And every time you do something, the next time you do it, it gets that much better, right? And so you learn each time. And so certainly, you know, somebody could experiment and play around with it, but I just really found that having that knowledge base, and that research base to it was very valuable. And I think like when you said the passion, I was very interested in this project, but I think I said quite near the beginning that while yes, you know, I'm very enthusiastic, I'd love to do it, but Arthur, if you don't come back, like I just see it sliding. And I think for sure if it's in the administrator's hands, you know, we would love to continue on, but you just get fragmented, like Brenda said. A teacher maybe more likely if that was within their passion, and maybe that was the one thing that they chose to focus on. We don't have that ability to choose only one thing to focus on. We had already had a long history of having once a month there was a walk to school, and the children were rewarded extrinsically for that. They would get a sticker or, you know, something. And it was manned by parent volunteers. But what happens over time is the parent volunteers get tired and they get busy, and it runs out. And the children were doing it for the sticker, and at the end of the day, all of the cars were back there picking the children up. So it wasn't about changing the way of being for the families. In order for it to be a systemic change, it's got to be deeper than that and longer than that.
And I think in a lot of our schools we've reached a crisis stage in terms of traffic around schools. It's unsafe. It's taking a lot of my time out there telling parents how to drive and trying to get between parents who are angry at each other because they don't like how they're driving. So to have somebody that works between several schools help kids and families change what they do would be just such a good position to have. It's a building of community. When you came to our school, we looked at the different areas, and parents identified where they lived, and getting parents to meet up with other parents and supporting other parents and getting their kids to school, and just that sense of community that you can build through that.
When we had those maps up, not only were the children fascinated and pointing out where, but we had parents going, oh, and they would go, oh, you live, oh, you, they didn't know. The families in our communities, in our school communities, aren't connected already in the neighborhood before they come. So they don't have these relationships already established that they could carpool. So, you know, originally I said that, you know, we only go to grade 5 in our system that at the elementary school, so that's kind of young for the, you know, for them to own this piece. But I do think that there's a lot of power in the leadership ability, and I think it gives kids that sense of I can make a difference, and in a real practical way, that I can do something, I can make a difference, I can do this one thing, I can help my family do this one thing. So it gives them that sense of empowerment that I think we want to have in our strong, you know, citizens.
And 10-year-olds do make a difference. We saw that in both our schools. 10-year-olds can be leaders and kids learn from kids and they follow kids. So those 10-year-olds in my school made a difference. With the morning messages, with going around to classrooms, with taking surveys, they made a difference. And I still have a travel committee at my school. I'd love to have an Arthur helping me with it. But
wouldn't we all?
yeah.